Hulk smash! That's pretty much what this movie is.
A 1, 2, 3, 4!
Alright, another Pixar animated film. Can't wait to talk about it. Hey everyone, welcome to Mr. T's Film Preach, and if you're a Pixar film lover like I am, and if you learn from films as much as I do, then you are in the right place. Click like down below and subscribe to my channel for more content, but most importantly, what did you guys think of the new Pixar Disney animated film, Turning Red? What is your favorite Pixar film? Maybe it's this one. Also, you can check out my 2022 playlist of all the films I reviewed so far, right up there, even though there's only 4. Today we're going to talk about the 2022 animated Pixar Disney film, Turning Red. This film was written and directed by Domee Shi, who was the Academy Award-winning director of the short animated film Bao. Really creative, really interesting story, really great storyteller, and so this is her first full-length animated feature film. This film is set in Toronto, Canada. Represent Canada.
Jesus Christ.
Where the film centers around 13-year-old Meilin, who is trying to discover herself, her identity, who she is, and she finds out she has this ability to turn into a giant, plushy, huge red panda anytime she gets excited or overworked or angry, which happens a lot because she is 13 years old in the middle of adolescence, and she has a mother who is overbearing and very strict, and she has to deal with the everyday life of being a teenager while also having this secret that she doesn't want revealed but becomes revealed, and she has to deal with this complicated situation. And that's sort of what they've been focusing on for their last few films, is definitely the human experience, the growing up and what that looks like, and specifically in a coming of age story. This film is very similar in the style, in the storytelling style of a film that came out last year called Luca, which I did also enjoy, where you have a lovable and relatable character in Meilin and her friends. Her friends are probably actually the best part of this film. They are so funny and quirky and just out of this world.
Let's go.
Obsessed with this boy band that they need to see in person, and just all that stuff of growing up and being a 13-year-old teenager. Using the red panda as a symbol for sexual awakening, for adolescence, for growing up, was very much on the head and on the nose. And that's probably one of the things that it's not that I didn't enjoy it, it just wasn't very subtle. This one for sure was like, here's the message. Do you understand what we're trying to say? Beat you on the face with it a little too much, a little bit repetitive. And then just when you think like, yes, they've made the point, they've made the connection, they spend a 10-minute scene at the end really driving that point home, and it just became a little bit too much.
I'm not too much. Much too much.
I just don't think that's the greatest storytelling, even if it's a kid's film. As a 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid, you're going to get the message. So that was my biggest thing with this film that detracted me from really loving it. Meilin and her mother, and that relationship is really the core focal point of the film, and what this film is trying to say about mother and daughters and traditions and family traditions. But I think there's a universal story here that everyone can relate to. Even if you're not someone who is a 13-year-old female, you can still relate to this time in your life where everything is confusing and hard, and you have all these emotions. You just know that you want to go to a concert, or you want to hang out with your friends, and that your family becomes less and less important. And that's what this film really takes an in-depth look at, which I really enjoyed. This film was really funny, it's really entertaining, it moves really well, it's got a fun storyline, it's got a really cute, quirky character in Meilin and her turning into the red panda. That red panda is going to be everywhere now. It's going to be a big Halloween costume this year. And it's a fun film. It's a good time. It doesn't take itself too seriously, while also still trying to deliver a thought and meaningful message. Pixar, I really hope that they move away from now is the coming of age story, or the coming of age format. They did it with Luca and they did it with Turning Red. I think they need to stop it there. Both those films are great, but they're not amazing. They're not the best top tier Pixar films. They're somewhere right in the middle range there, and I think that's where this film just doesn't quite do what it wanted it to do for me personally. Some of the point of views or perspectives of this story where they make the mom so bad and she's not, and then she ends up sort of kind of being the villain at parts, but not really. And that's the other thing with Disney Pixar recently. We don't have a bad guy anymore. There are no villains or evil people. There's just people who do things, or like just terrible situations that our heroes need to figure a way out of. You know, like what happened to Scar? Remember Scar in The Lion King?
Oh, Mufasa, did I miss it? That's simply awful.
Remember Shere Khan in The Jungle Book? Like, these are really great Disney villains. Onward, Luca, Turning Red, Inside Out. Like, they don't really have villains, antagonists to the story. And not that every story needs to have like an evil villain, but once in a while, I think it should happen. Then just our characters need to figure a way out of the situation. Or another example is like Encanto that came out recently. Again, there's no villain in that. It's just like a family figuring out their problems. Shift our antagonists and our villains a bit. I know there's a movie coming out, Lightyear, probably gonna have the villain of Zurg going up against Buzz Lightyear. And I'm more excited for stories like that. I'm excited and anticipating a storyline and a villain like that. So that's just my personal take on that. But overall, this is a really fun, entertaining, family-friendly film that most people are going to enjoy or get something out of. Definitely check it out, especially it's on Disney Plus now. So overall, I'm gonna go ahead and give Turning Red a B. What did you guys think of Turning Red, the new Pixar animated film? I would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. What is also your favorite Pixar film, and what is your least? Which one do you hate the most? Mine is Cars 2. Also, come back and check out some of my other videos, The Batman, Uncharted, and Scream. Thank you for joining me today on Mr. Teach Film Preach. I hope you guys had a great time. I know I did, and we'll see you on the next film. Stay focused, stay awesome, and as always, let's get taught.